MCU Phase 4 has come out to a close. Therefore, I'm going to rank all 4 MCU phases from the worst to the best. In last place for me is Phase 4. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some great moments in Phase 4, great movies, great shows, and it gets more experimental. No Way Home, obviously a gift to people who love Spider-Man. Black Panther Wakanda Forever, a tribute to T'Challa. I liked stuff like the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special and Werewolf by Night that I thought were just little fun, like little films, short films in and of themselves to make for something very cool into the MCU, and they started experimenting with television. And in general, I think that it's good the MCU is taking more risks, but most of those risks unfortunately failed. This is the phase that has the most amount of total duds in the entire MCU. Thor: Love and Thunder, Eternals, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and most importantly, She-Hulk. All of those aren't very good in this franchise because it has so many duds, more than any of the other MCU. And so it focuses in on quantity over quality. It's putting out more projects and not worrying about if people are actually going to watch and enjoy them. Like She-Hulk has more episodes than a bunch of the other Marvel Disney Plus shows, but still ends up being one of the worst Marvel Disney Plus shows we have ever seen. And it doesn't really build up to anything. It's not building up to this finale like Phase 1 was. It's just a series of stories. And it's targeting a very niche audience. And so this is not a phase that I think is particularly good, and I feel like it was better when the MCU started in the Infinity Saga. In third place is Phase 2. This phase explores deeper into some characters in the MCU, and it's a more mature phase than Phase 1. Now, to me, this phase has the same problem as Phase 4, where it doesn't particularly stand on its own. It relies on the other phases to make it work, but at least it's been putting out some good stuff. The reason it's not higher than Phase 1, though, is I think Phase 1 just did it a little bit better. We got an Iron Man movie in Phase 2. Iron Man movie done better in Phase 1. We got a Thor movie in Phase 2. Obviously, Thor movie done better in Phase 1. We got an Avengers movie in Phase 2. Avengers movie done better in Phase 1. And so stuff like that, I think Phase 1 just did it a little bit better. But this phase introduces some important stuff. Like, it introduces our Infinity Stones and more stuff that will lead up into Infinity War and Endgame eventually. But this is not a phase I re-explore that much. It does some experimental stuff with Guardians of the Galaxy, which I absolutely love. I absolutely think it's a top 3 MCU category. Stuff like Winter Soldier that I think has some of the best action in the MCU. But it does have some duds like Mandarin Twist and Thor: The Dark World. I think it's enjoyable, but just not one I re-explore that much unless I watch through all the MCU movies. Our runner-up is Phase 1. Now, this is a phase that to me has aged really well with time as the MCU has gone on to go bigger. The reason for this is because every time I watch through the MCU movies to prepare for something new, I always notice something about Phase 1 that is paid off a little bit in one of the future phases of the MCU, in particular, Phase 3 with Infinity War and Endgame. I think a bunch of things are paid off that started all in this phase, from little lines of dialogue to things that actually pay off. It has 2 great films bookended in this film. You have the original Iron Man, a great story about a man becoming a superhero, and then we have the Avengers, the ultimate team-up movie in the MCU. Well, I guess not the ultimate team-up movie, but at the time it came out, it was the ultimate comic book movie, team-up movie. And so it's warped to me over time. Still, you could feel it trying to find its tone. Thor 1 being a prime example of that. Incredible Hulk, the black sheep of the MCU. But it was actually leading towards something. It was actually leading towards this team-up movie. And I think That's the reason it works on itself and it's over Phase 2. It's because if this just existed, it's a set of films that leads up to this finale team-up movie. And I think this phase is heavily underrated. It has aged very well with time, and I think it's grown on me a little bit. But easily coming in first place for me is Phase 3. This is easily where the franchise was at its highest heights. There seems to be something for everyone when it comes to this phase. This is where every single moment of storytelling pays off, especially in Infinity War and Endgame. And so if you want a team-up movie, it's Infinity War and Endgame. If you want a prestige Best Picture nominated movie, you get Black Panther. If you want a comedy, you get Thor Ragnarok. If you want to get a space adventure, you get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. If you want a movie about wizards, you get Doctor Strange. If you want a drama which has conflicts about misunderstandings, you get Civil War. If you just want a small high school movie, you just get Spider-Man Homecoming. And if you just want a lighthearted superhero movie, you get Ant-Man and the Wasp. And so there's something for everyone. This is where fan service felt earned in the final two Avengers movies, Infinity War and Endgame. Everything felt earned in those last two films, and this is just a satisfying conclusion to the Infinity Saga that because of 10 years of build-up, it pays off so well at the end of it. And this is the phase that I explored the most because I saw all these movies in the theater. Captain America Civil War was my introduction to the MCU, and I saw it in the theater as well as every other Phase 3 movie since because I love this phase. This is where the MCU was at its most popular. A lot of these movies are some of the highest grossing movies of all time. And so, this is easily my favorite phase in the MCU. There you have it. That's my ranking. Down below in the comment section, share your ranking of all 4 MCU phases. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end. I will see you in the next one.